What's the most depressing meal you've eaten? When I was 19 after my ex left me broken and homeless, I used every penny I had left and put down a rent deposit on a run-down, spider-infested, cold and dirty one-room apartment. I had no furniture and was sleeping on the dusty, wooden floor on a pile of towels in below freezing temperatures, while wearing layers upon layers of clothes, gloves and a woolly hat just to keep warm, more difficult than you'd think as this was in early January in North Scotland. At that time, I was working at a fast food restaurant and received one small but free meal on my half-hour break at 2 a.m. I worked 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. 6 days a week. For the first 3 weeks, I lived in this flat where a free burger was the only cooked meal I would have. On my days off I'd tend to buy anything I could afford from the local store when they reduced items to pennies at the end of the day prior to closing, usually past its sell-by date, and disgusting things such as a squished bar of chocolate or mushy tomatoes. My last day off work right before I would finally be paid my crappy month's wage was the worst. I woke up at 9 p.m. as usual and just laid in the dark on the floor. All I could think of was how hungry and helpless I was. At around 2 a.m. when I would usually get food at my work, the hunger was becoming unbearable and no amount of cold water from the tap was diminishing it. I raided through all my jackets and bags still in cardboard boxes around the apartment in the hopes of finding something, anything, that could help. And that is where I found my most depressing meal. A sachet of curry sauce from the restaurant. I cried while squeezing the 25 milliliters condiment into my mouth and crawled back onto the towels to lay there until I could go back to work 19 hours later. I am now 22 and have a house with the love of my life, who I met at the same time I moved into that apartment. Every night I come home from a 9-to-5 office job, to a warm home and a soft bed, and I get to cook lovely homely meals for us both. Every day I remember the conditions I survived through and made the best of. Because of that experience and others I had living there, I'm always appreciative of the life I have now and the work it took to get here.